You know, a Calgary winter, it can be absolutely brutal. We're talking 5 months of freezing temperatures, those biting winds, and just so much snow. For most animals, this is a time to hibernate or just get out of Dodge. But for a colony of honeybees, it's a full-on epic struggle for survival. So if you were to walk up to a beehive in November, all you'd see is this still, frozen box. You might even think it's lifeless. But what's happening inside? Well, that's a whole different story. We've got tens of thousands of bees locked in a life-or-death battle against the cold. And their victory really depends on two things: some incredible biology and some very careful planning. So that really is the big question, isn't it? How on earth does an entire colony, an organism that absolutely thrives in the summer heat, somehow manage to get through the deep freeze of a prairie winter? Well, the answer is pretty amazing. It's this brilliant mix of pure instinct and a crucial partnership. All right, first up, let's talk about the bees themselves. Their main survival tool is just this incredible feat of teamwork and, honestly, biological engineering. They literally create their own central heating system. It's wild. Okay, so it all comes down to this thing called the winter cluster. Basically, all the bees huddle together in this super tight ball, and guess who's right in the middle, all safe and sound? The queen, of course. The bees on the outside, they form this dense insulating layer. I mean, their bodies are packed so tight, they're like a living, breathing blanket. And the bees in the core, they've got one job and one job only: make heat. Now this number, -10 degrees Celsius, that's a really critical trigger point. The second the temperature drops below that, the whole colony kicks into high gear. These heater bees in the middle of the cluster start vibrating their huge flight muscles. It's basically like they're shivering, but way more intense, and it generates an incredible amount of heat. But this all comes at a cost. It burns through their precious honey stores, which is the fuel that keeps this whole furnace running. You know, for this whole strategy to even work, you need a special kind of bee. See, not all bees are created equal. The ones born in late fall are, well, they're physiologically different. Your average summer bee literally works itself to death in about 6 weeks. But these special winter bees, they're built for the long haul. They have a different body chemistry, more fat reserves, and that lets them live for months. Their entire job is to keep that cluster going and make sure the colony sees the spring. Survival in the hive can also be pretty ruthless. As winter gets closer, the female worker bees make a tough call. They systematically kick out all the male bees, the drones. See, a drone's only job is to mate with a queen. Once that's done, they're just another mouth to feed. So to save every single drop of precious honey, the drones get evicted, left to face the cold. It sounds brutal, and it is, but it's absolutely essential for the colony's survival. But here's the thing, the bees aren't facing the winter completely alone. There's another huge factor in their survival, and that's the close partnership they have with their human guardian, the beekeeper. Yeah, come fall, an urban beekeeper's job totally changes. It's no longer about collecting honey. It's all about survival. Their work really boils down to three main things: helping the bees stay warm, stay dry, and stay safe. So first up, insulation. You can literally think of it as a winter jacket for the hive. These heavy wraps help the colony hold on to all that heat their little living furnace is generating. And that means they have to burn less of their precious honey fuel. And believe me, in a place like Calgary, blocking that relentless prairie wind is just as critical. Now, here's something that might surprise you. For a bee colony in winter, the biggest threat isn't actually the cold, it's moisture. Think about it. All those bees breathing and generating heat creates warm, humid air inside the hive. If that humid air hits a cold inner surface, it'll condense into water and drip right back down onto the bees, and that can be absolutely fatal. So a small upper entrance is key. It acts like a chimney, letting all that damp air escape. And the last line of defense is all about protecting a very vulnerable colony. A tiny mouse, looking for a warm, food-filled spot to wait out the winter, could completely destroy the hive. So this simple little device, an entrance reducer, just narrows the front door. It helps block drafts, but more importantly, it keeps hungry pests from getting inside. So for a hobbyist or a backyard beekeeper, getting the hive ready outdoors is what it's all about. But for Alberta's massive commercial honey industry, and we're talking about an industry that manages over 40% of all honeybees in Canada, the scale is just different. They'll often move thousands of hives into these gigantic climate-controlled buildings. In there, everything, temperature, humidity, airflow, is perfectly managed for the entire winter. But hey, just because the bees are all tucked away for the winter, whether they're outside in a wrap or inside a building, that doesn't mean the beekeeper gets to kick back and relax for a few months. Nope, the work just moves indoors. Once the bees are safe and sound, the whole operation shifts from the bee yard to the workshop. November is all about cleaning and repairing every piece of equipment that got used during the busy season. It's about taking inventory, ordering new supplies, building new frames, basically getting everything prepped so you're ready to hit the ground running the second that spring thaw arrives. And this quote really says it all, doesn't it? The success of next summer's honey harvest? Well, that's not decided in June or July. It's decided right now by the health of the colony that makes it through the winter. And that survival is a direct result of all the careful prep and hard work that happens during these quiet, cold months. So when you think about it, the survival of this incredible superorganism is really a testament to foresight, to cooperation, and to adaptation. It's a true partnership between the colony's amazing instincts and the beekeeper's dedicated care. And it kind of leaves us with a final thought, right? In a world that so often demands instant results, what can we all learn from the bees' ultimate lesson in planning for the future?